Yo, this is Rick Mahorn, the bad boy, giving a shout out to my man Drew, Detroit Drew. Make sure you tune in on his YouTube channel, Detroit Drew, bad boy.
Yo, what up though, peeps? How's it going today? Welcome back. We are officially back talking some Detroit Pistons, and I missed a long time, so it might be a longer video. I was debating if I should break this into multiple parts and topics, but I think I'm just gonna try to fit everything into this and see where it goes. If I don't think I touched on enough, then in the upcoming weeks I'll talk more about and go into more detail. So first and foremost, let's start with the draft. Obviously, I think a lot of us thought we wouldn't have been landing at 5, but you know, hey, whatever. Pistons, they still have a good shot at getting Jaden Ivey. That's who I've wanted from day one. I felt the most comfortable with. I thought he might have been the best fit from us from day one. Pairing him up next to Cade, you replace what Corey Joseph was supposed to do. You give Ivey that opportunity. Sky's the limit for that backcourt. Now, they'll have to build chemistry, and it's going to take time. But to have 3 guards, Cade, Ivey, and Killian, all within a few years of each other, all still working on their game, that's going to be a nasty combination going forward. Even if we keep Killian off the bench, I don't care. I like that fit. I like what we're trying to do there. It's giving me, not, again, style-wise or anything like that, but it's giving me flashbacks to our championship teams. I mean, you look at those teams, you know, the bad boys, the starting backcourt, Zeke, Joe Dumars, and who to come off the bench? The microwave, Vinnie Johnson. Go to the 04 squad. Chauncey and Rip started, but then you had Lindsey Hunter coming off that would clamp you up. There's just something about the way the Detroit Pistons win championships. You need 3 guards that fit and work well. Troy Weaver knows this. He's not going to let it slip. If Ivey's there, he's the guy. I almost guarantee it. However, I did talk about Murray, like I said, 2 months ago. If you guys want to see what I thought about him then, you can go back and watch it. Or just listen right now. Look, I like what he brings to the table. He's not as flashy. I don't think he's going to be a star player. He's not going to bring the highlights like an Ivy would. But in terms of fit, we really do need a 4. And I'm going to talk about the Jeremy Grant situation next. But depending on what we do with him, if we trade him, there's a hole there. Is Stu and Bagley going to work all season long? Are we bringing Bagley back? There's all kinds of questions about this. I think that Murray's the guy if Ivey's not there. But I think that's something we can talk about on the draft show. I don't know if I'm going to do the draft show because I'll actually be at LCA for the draft party there. So if you're going there, hit me up. Come say what up. But to the Jeremy Grant situation, I don't think that there's a wrong move we can do here. Okay, well, let me rephrase that. There is if we don't get equal trade value. But if you keep him, it's not necessarily a bad thing because he's a 20-point-per-game scorer. And towards the end of this season, he was still getting his 20 and his occasional 30, while Cade was still doing what he was doing, while Sadiq was still doing what he was doing. We actually kind of had a big 3 there at the end of the season when we started playing better. You can bring that back and try it again and see how it works. And then if it's not working the way we thought it was going to, like the end of the last season did, then at the deadline, you can still move him, or before the deadline. There is that option. If it works out, this is a playoff team. I'm not talking play in, play off. So there's something to do with that. But if you do trade him, you either need to get another draft pick or you need another vet like Jeremy Grant. Not someone who's in their 30s, who's past their prime. You need someone who knows what the heck they're doing. Because if you look at the team, with the exception of Grant, Corey Joseph has had some playoff experience, but he doesn't play to the same level to those guys, you know. And that was really Grant's first real opportunity to be the guy. But he got to play with the Westbrooks, you know, Paul Georges. I mean, I can go on and name all his teammates. But he got to be around those guys. He got to actually contribute and work his way up to get there. No one else on the roster who was a vet did that. I mean, like, McGriddle's been around some good dudes, some great players. But come on. You know, no one's going to take him serious. He didn't do anything. You need to get someone who's got some credibility that people will respect and listen to him when they talk. And then back it up on the court at the same time. So you gotta get someone in their mid to late 20s to establish that role. That's still going to contribute to the team, So it's not as easy as it sounds, but that's what kind of player I want for Jeremy Grant. Now, who would that be? I don't know yet, because free agency is a big question. It's like all these things are connected. Right now, if you guys have seen the multiverse of madness, you see all these different parallel universes. This is kind of what it feels like right now, because one move goes something, it throws the rest of the two other moves off. Trades, free agency, drafting. It'll throw everything off of what we're trying to do. I know Troy Weaver's got a game plan, but in free agency, the two big ones that everyone's talking about, Jalen Brunson, DeAndre Ayton, both great players. I'm a Mavs guy. I was rooting for them. Got to watch all their games in the playoffs. Brunson did really well for the most part. He had a great playoff run, but there were some times where the Mavericks needed him to step up. He didn't need to step up, and there was a few times that they didn't always answer that call. If you're going to pay someone $20 million, you damn better be sure they're going to answer the call when needed. When Luka was there, it was fine if he didn't play well, because Luka is going to do Luka things. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. Other than that, I like how he uses his size and his strength to get down low in the paint and create easy shots for himself to get to the free throw line. He doesn't get discouraged, though. If he's not having a good shooting game, it's not going to stop him. He's a great defender, great playmaker. He does well off ball, but he does better with the balls in his hands too. So he does have experience playing off ball, and if you play him with Cade, it's a familiar system. What Luka can do, they play very similar, so he should be able to fit right away. DeAndre Ayton's a good question one. I am probably one of the few that's against this one. Not that because he's a bad player, but what the hell are we going to have 5 centers on the team for? You're going to have to move some of these guys. You're going to bring Bagley back, but you kind of promised him more of an opportunity. If you get DeAndre Ayton, he's going to be coming off the bench again. But then you also have Beef Stew, who's been starting for the last year. What would happen there? You don't want to piss off the young guys thinking they're getting replaced already. I don't know. I guess if you do bring him in, you don't bring back Bagley, which would suck, because I really liked what him and Cade were doing. I don't know how much I trust DeAndre Ayton, to be honest with you. I don't get what he's complaining about with the Suns about the payday thing. He's like, you got Devin Booker, who's the guy. You got CP3, who's trying to get you to the finals. It's like, what has he done to earn this money? He hasn't stepped up or demanded the ball. He's cried and complained about it. I don't want somebody there causing that drama, because it's Cade's team. It's not going to be DeAndre Ayton's team. I don't know. The talent's there. I like the guy. And if we're going in the East and you got to win some playoff games and series, you got to have a center, because you got to go through Embiid, Bam. Those are the top two there. But then you look at what Boston's been doing to the playoffs with Al Horford. They compete. To win in the East, man, you're going to have a center that can play defense and score. Because you got to guard Giannis at times, and then Brook Lopez is killing people in Milwaukee. So, the East is tough. So, it's kind of going back to the old school ways. You're going to have a big man. So, we'll see where that's going to go. I don't know, man. There's just so many what ifs. Like, if you pair one of those guys up, are you keeping Grant, you moving Grant? How would that's going to work? Because we got so much money. And if you trade Jeremy Grant, you can get more money back to spend on more people. We might end up making a way to get Brunson and Ayton. I don't know if that's possible, but there's a will, there's a way. It's just, there's a lot of question marks with this offseason. It's crazy. It's a great time to be a Pistons fan. The possibilities are endless right now. So, man, I don't really know what to expect. Like years prior, you can kind of suggest who we're going after, what kind of players we need, what we want. Right now, it's interesting because we got so many great young talent on the roster right now. Like, I want Anthony Simmons. He's a free agent. Then you'd have another young guard in the lineup. I don't know if we do that or go after him if we get Ivy. It's just like there's a lot of questions and a lot of guys that I want, but I just don't know how it would all fit. There's so many what if and possibilities. So, draft first and foremost. We gotta get that one out the way. And when that's said and over, I think in free agency, we will really know what we need to go after then. So I don't know, man. What do you guys want to see from the draft free agency? Are you guys wanting to trade Draymond Grant? If you do, what do you want? What are you looking for in return? Leave all that stuff down below in the comments. Instagram, Twitter, DSA members, Drew 313 shirts in the description. Check those out, man. I greatly appreciate that. That being said, I'll see you guys in the next one, and that's the bottom line, because Double D said so. Peace.